to stop with the abstractions that I've been talking about and just get into some, real nitty-gritty kind of stuff, what I want to do is explain to you the 4View Big Customer Retuning sort of toolkit and give you a specific case example. So ideally, if we found a customer that we're losing a lot of money on, they're giving us $50,000 in margin and they cost $75,000 to take care of, so we're losing $25,000 on the account. It would be nice to be able to sort of say, all right, let's just go look at their profit and loss statement. And so we're looking at a screen where the customer did, $500,000 in sales, they did $100,000 in margin, which is 20%. And then we look at all the expenses we had. Well, we had this much for inside sales, transactional activity costs, we had this much for paperwork costs, this much for line item picking in the warehouse, this much for delivery, this much for sales commission. It's all in there to come up with a net negative total. And of course, wherever the activity costs look quite exceptional, like lots of phone calls and lots of picks in the warehouse and lots of small items, it turns out, lots of delivery costs for not much because we're delivering small orders, we can sort of infer, we can guess, okay, we can see that these activity costs for these categories are quite out of the norm. So then we can say, all right, well, let's look at a different way. Let's look at the 1,000 different items that this one customer bought from us this past year, and let's have those items ranked from the most profitable items, at least the way they bought them, they were profitable, to the most unprofitable. And a lot of the why they're unprofitable is the way they bought them and or the way we sold them. We're enabling them. It's there's no bad guy here. We're both in it together. So we could go to the bottom of the SKU rank report and say, my gosh, look at this. We're delivering paper clips, the equivalent of paper clips to this customer on a just-in-time basis. So we're delivering twice a week, 50 weeks a year. We had 100 transactions for $1 worth of paper clips each time. Why don't we deliver paper clips once a year, and top them off kind of thing. We can then go look at all the invoices that the customer gave us for the year, and we go right to the bottom of the report and say, okay, here's an invoice that had $2 of stuff that they bought from us, and we have $110 of transactional costs in the invoice, and we can actually look at the line item, and it's not surprising, in fact it's necessarily so, that the biggest losing items are on the smallest orders. That's why these items are such big losers. And then we have to say, well, wait a minute, what do we know about this customer and their philosophy of buying and why they're buying these items this way? And if they are buying these $2 orders, and look at the detail, on a rush basis off their normal pattern, can we infer, can we guess that, gee, for lack of a paper clip, they can't do what they're supposed to be doing, so they're sitting there waiting with downtime costs for this paper clip. So we're losing our tail on all this transactional activity. They're going to get, paperwork activity costs for not buying anything really, but what about their downtime costs? So by merging the 4 of these things together, the light bulb goes on, and you say, you know what's going on here? And what would be a way that we could solve this problem? And often these kinds of problems have already happened in other very big volume progressive channels, and they've come up with ways of dealing with it. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can actually borrow ideas from other channels and adapt them to our particular reality, even more specifically the customer. So those would be the 4View analysis. Now in the next couple slides we're going to look at a plumbing contractor buying from a plumbing supply distributor using the 4View analysis and coming up with a solution for turning lose-lose to win-win. Thank you.